Anger, the fire that promises strength but secretly burns you alive. You've felt it, the heat in your chest, the pulse in your veins, the urge to strike back, to dominate, to prove yourself. And in that moment, you believe you're powerful. But the truth? You're not in control. You're a puppet. Your strings are pulled by every insult, every disrespect, every obstacle that dares to stand in your way. Marcus Aurelius called anger a form of weakness, a sickness of the mind. Seneca was sharper. Anger is temporary madness. And when you think about it, he's right. How many times has fury cost you? Respect, relationships, opportunities? How many moments of rage left you ashamed once the storm had passed? Anger is not strength, it is slavery. And every time you give in, you chain yourself tighter to the will of others. Because they can provoke you, they can control you, and they can strip you of reason. This is why the Stoics treated mastery over anger as the highest discipline. Because the man who controls himself is untouchable. The question is simple. Will you finally stop being a slave to rage, or remain its prisoner? Picture this. You're at work. You've been grinding for weeks, carrying more weight than anyone else, and in a meeting your manager casually dismisses your idea. Not just that, they smirk, the kind of smirk that cuts deeper than words. The room chuckles lightly, and for a split second you feel the volcano rising inside you. Your jaw tightens, your fists itch to slam the table. In that moment, the anger feels righteous, like justice screaming for release. But here's the trap. If you explode, you lose. Everyone sees you as unstable, emotional, easy to provoke. The smirk wins. You walk out humiliated, not respected. Or think back to family arguments, the times you said words in anger you could never take back. You wanted to be heard, but the fury drowned out your reason. Instead of strength, you showed weakness. Instead of dominance, you exposed your lack of control. And afterward, when silence settled in, regret hung heavier than the anger ever did. We've all lived this. Moments where rage promised power, but only delivered chains. Now imagine the opposite. Someone insults you, yet you stand calm, unshaken. No reaction, no weakness. Just silence that cuts deeper than words. That's when you realize mastery over anger is not suppression, it's dominance. And when you achieve it, no one owns you. Anger feels powerful. It rushes through the veins like fire. It convinces us that we're standing tall, defending our honor, seizing control. But Stoicism rips the mask off anger and exposes it for what it truly is. Weakness, slavery of the soul. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, wrote in Meditations, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Why? Because anger drags you down to their level. When someone provokes you, their goal is to steal your composure. If you rage, you've given them your power. Control is lost. Respect vanishes. The emperor himself knew. Restraint is real strength. Seneca sharpened the blade even further. In On Anger, he warned, "Anger is an acid that does more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured." Think of that. The words spoken in fury, they cut you long after they cut others. The raised voice, the impulsive strike, they leave scars, regrets, and consequences you can't undo. Anger promises victory, but leaves you defeated. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, was blunt. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. That's the heart of Stoicism. The instant you lash out, you admit they own your emotions. They press a button and you obey. Is that strength? No, that's servitude. The Stoic path flips the script. You cannot control insults, mockery, betrayal. Those belong to fate, to the unpredictable world. But your response? That is entirely yours. Mastery begins there. Anger is not to be buried, it's to be reforged. Stoics didn't numb themselves. They transformed fire into clarity. Marcus turned his frustrations into reflections. Seneca transmuted his rage into sharp writings that still train men today. Epictetus took the humiliation of slavery and turned it into indifference toward the small cuts of daily life. The principle is simple, but merciless. You are either ruled by your passions, or you rule them. Anger, left unchecked, will master you. But once you see it for what it is, a weakness dressed as strength, you break free. And when you break free, you stand untouchable. Stop lying to yourself. Anger isn't strength, it's weakness in disguise. If you can't master your emotions, you will always be someone else's puppet. You want respect? You want to be unshakable? Then you need a strategy. Here are 5 unapologetic tactics to master anger before it masters you. 1. Delay is domination. When the fire rises, your first instinct is to strike. Don't. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Count, breathe, step back. Every second you resist the impulse, you prove mastery over yourself. Anger thrives on speed. Starve it with time. The man who can wait owns the battlefield. 2. Reframe the attack. Insults are attempts at control. Epictetus taught, if someone speaks ill of you, remember, it is only their opinion. When someone belittles you, they're showing their weakness, not your worth. Reframe it instantly. Their insult is a confession of their own insecurity. Why give them free rent in your mind? 3. Convert anger into discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote his frustrations into meditations instead of unleashing them. Follow his lead. Take the raw energy of anger and funnel it into action. Lift weights, write, build, train, create. Rage wasted is poison. Rage harnessed is fuel. You don't fight anger by suppressing it. You fight it by weaponizing it. 4. Use silence as a sword. Most men bark when they're provoked. Few remain silent. Silence unsettles, intimidates, and disarms. The one who speaks less appears stronger because he reveals nothing. Silence forces your enemy to face themselves. It's the ultimate show of self-command. No wasted words, no wasted energy, just presence. 5. Practice the pre-mortem. Marcus prepared for insults each morning. You will meet with meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful men. Expect the worst before the day begins. That way, when it comes, you're armored. Anger blinds those who are surprised. Foreknowledge sharpens those who are prepared. Expect disrespect. Anticipate betrayal. Then, when it arrives, you are not shaken. You are ready. These aren't soft tricks. They are weapons. Anger will always knock at your door. The question is, will you kneel to it, or will you stand above it? Each tactic is a blade forged in Stoic fire. Delay, reframe, convert, silence, prepare. Wield them daily, train relentlessly, and when others fall into rage, you will stand calm, untouchable, and respected. Section 5. Uplifting Conclusion. Call to action. Anger will always be waiting. Like a wolf at the edge of the campfire, the weak man feeds it. He lashes out, destroys relationships, ruins opportunities, and chains himself to regret. But the strong man, the Stoic, stares that wolf down. He starves it. He learns to harness the fire instead of being consumed by it. That man becomes untouchable. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, reminded himself daily, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Seneca warned that anger is a brief madness. Epictetus declared that it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. These men weren't preaching theory. They were giving us weapons for survival in a brutal world. You now hold those same weapons. Delay before reacting. Reframe every insult. Convert rage into action. Use silence as your blade. Armor yourself with expectation. Do this, and you will not only master anger, you will master yourself. But understand this. Knowledge means nothing without execution. Philosophy must be lived, not just admired. So here's your challenge. The next time frustration, insult, or rage comes knocking, stop, breathe, and choose strength over slavery. If this message ignited something in you, don't let it die here. Subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind. Share this with someone who needs it. Comment your greatest battle with anger below and how you will master it. This is not about pretending to be calm. This is about becoming unshakable, a fortress, an inner citadel. Build it now, live it daily, and finally stop letting anger own you.